Political crisis between the Nigerian Minister of FCT, who is also the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and Governor Siminalayi Fubara may have resorted to street fighting and killings in the South State shortly after the governor dissolved and put an end to the tenure of the local government chairman in the state. The action has made police operatives to take over the 23 local government area secretariats, preventing both the caretaker committee chairman and the former occupants of the seats from accessing the secretariats for local government business activities. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, while swearing in the 23 local government caretaker committee chairpersons, said his reason of ending the tenure of the former local government chairman is, in furtherance of our determined steps to stabilize our polity, I swore in chairman of caretaker committees to manage the affairs of our 23 local government areas after the expiration of the tenure of the immediate past chairman. As nature abhors a vacuum, our action is to ensure that we don't give vent to tenure elongation, which is alien to our constitution. Upon swearing in, I charge the caretaker chairman to protect the interests of their people in the grassroots leadership and to promote peace and order in their domains. As a government that strongly adheres to accountability, I also ordered for the audit of the activities of the administration of the 23 local government areas in the past 3 years in order to ascertain the proper utilization of funds within the period. On Thursday, the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Kande Egbetukun, directed the continuation of the police barricade on local government secretariats in Rivers State to prevent a breakdown of law and order. IGP Egbetukun gave the directive while fielding questions from journalists in Abuja on the sideline of a conference with commissioners of police and other senior officers. IGP said police will continue to occupy the secretariats until a court of competent jurisdiction delivers judgment on the local government crisis in Rivers State. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetukun, had in a statement signed by the first public relations officer, Olumiwa Adejobi, condemned the outbreak of violence and subsequent breakdown of law and order at various local government council secretariats in Rivers State, where supporters of the two political factions belonging to the FCT minister and the governor clashed over the tenure of local government council chairman, which, according to the police, unfortunately led to the tragic deaths of a police officer, Inspector David M.G. Bada, and Samuel Umugwe, a vigilante member at the very Umuma in Umuma local government area. The police statement further reads, in quote, thus, in response to these heinous acts, the IGP has directed the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, CP Olatunji Desu, to heighten security measures across the state and institute thorough investigations into the killing of the police officer and the vigilante operative, as well as the general violence which erupted in the state. The IGP has specifically deployed operatives of the Force Intelligence Response Team, IRT, to assist the Rivers State Command in apprehending the killers of the police officer and the vigilante member. The IGP seriously warns individuals and groups of people who have a penchant for senseless attacks and mindless killings of police officers and other security operatives across the country to desist forthwith, as the fullest force of the law will be meted on them. The CP has also been directed to focus on increased patrols, strategic deployment of officers, and enhanced intelligence operations to prevent further violence and ensure the safety of all residents. The IGP extends heartfelt condolences to the families, friends, and colleagues of the deceased police officer and the vigilante member, noting that their dedication and sacrifice in the line of duty will not be taken for granted. The Inspector General of Police calls on all residents and political stakeholders in the state to exercise restraint and seek peaceful means of resolving differences. About 3 persons, including a former student union government leader, were killed in Rivers State on Tuesday as youths besieged the headquarters of many local government areas, following the order of the state governor ending the tenure of chairman of the 23 local government areas in the state. Amidst the killings and unrest, Governor Siminalayi Fubara sworn in new caretaker chairman for the 23 local government areas of the state. The swearing-in was done on Wednesday at the Government House in Port Harcourt, the state capital, amid tight security, according to local media. The ceremony followed the swift screening and approval of the caretaker chairman by the Rivers State House of Assembly earlier on Wednesday morning. Punch newspaper on Thursday in its report indicated that the caretaker committee chairman for the 23 local government areas of Rivers State have assumed duties with the swearing-in of their members and dissolution of all standing committees in their respective councils. Also, the chairman dissolved all task forces set up by the ousted council chairman, even as the pledge to pay all outstanding salaries owed to their predecessors. Recall that Governor Siminalayi Fubara had on Wednesday sworn in the chairman in Government House, urging them to promote peace at all times, saying they can work from anywhere for the time being. Speaking after swearing in his members adjacent to the council secretariat in Ogu, the CTC chairman of Ogu, Bolo local government area, Evans Baipi, said his administration would focus on human capital development, economic empowerment, and employment generation to improve the quality of life of the people. He also promised to embark on massive stomach infrastructure to reduce hunger and poverty, as well as provide grants for small and medium-scale enterprises to boost the household economy in the area, while urging his committee members to be dedicated to the discharge of their duties. He stated, there will be human capital development. We will support women and men doing business because infrastructure without food in your stomach is zero. To the committee members, he said, be firm and honest while discharging your duties. None of you should be deterred or intimidated. He called on his predecessor and his team to return all government property in their possession. all council properties in the custody of the precious administration by anyone, be it power-generating set, paying, and others should be returned because I will pursue you to the latter. I hereby dissolve all standing committees. If you are a standing committee, you stand dissolved, he said. In Elena local government area, the CTC chairman, Brain Gopa, after swearing in his members said he would prioritize security and promised everybody along in the scheme of things. Many people have expressed fears that nobody can control Brain. Himself, Brain is not a stupid person. He is a politician who knows that collectively we can achieve our aim because I know I cannot do it alone. We will carry our stakeholders and everybody along, so nobody should be scared. Fundamentally, we will not play with security and no act of indiscipline. I have been active in the security of LMA since 2015, so I know the dynamics of security in LMA. While condemning the destruction of property in the council secretariat by hoodlums, he announced the dissolution of some youth councils and standing committees. All standing local government committees are hereby dissolved. The revenue director should take charge of all revenue spending the appointment of committees. In Kana local government area, the newly sworn-in CTC chairman, Malu Yobana, promised to run an all-inclusive government where young people, the elderly, and women will be empowered. Yobana, shortly after swearing in members, charged them to work together to build the local government area, saying, "For our members, let us work together as a team, collaborate, put ideas together even with the leaders of Kana both at the community and government levels, women and youths to make us succeed. This government is one of empowerment. We want to build the capacity of our people and attract businesses to Kana." He promised to immediately execute the directives of the governor to pay the salaries of workers and announced the dissolution of all former appointees in the area. All committees, both standing and whatever remains suspended from today, and anybody going on behalf of Kana local government to collect revenue from anybody or on behalf of the council should stop forthwith. Immediately we will ensure that salaries are paid, even the outgoing local government chairmen and councillors. Punch newspaper news report ends in quote. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has described as reckless the recent outburst and alleged call for war by Mr. Tony Okocha, the Rivers State caretaker chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC. In a statement in Abuja, Honorable Nebo Ologunagba, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, alleged that the many utterances of Mr. Okocha clearly geared towards instigating crisis in Rivers State. The PDP said Mr. Okocha is working to truncate the will of the people of Rivers State as expressed in the governorship election which produced Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The use of the word "war" by Mr. Okocha in his thoughtless statement clearly shows an evil intention which has been firmly resisted and will continue to be resisted by the people of Rivers State. The reckless outburst by Tony Okocha further exposes the sinister plot by the APC in Rivers State, which has been seeking for ways to instigate crisis. It also wants to forcefully overthrow a democratic order and impose an anti-democratic regime in Rivers State in clear violation of Section 1 subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. The APC in Rivers State should note that its malevolent scheme to instigate crisis and forcefully take over the state has failed. Rivers State is a stronghold of the PDP and the people are solidly behind the government of the PDP in the state. Honorable Ologunagba called on the Inspector General of Police to invite Mr. Okocha for questioning. According to PDP, Mr. Okocha utterances constitute a clear danger to Rivers State and the country. The PDP also called on the federal government and indeed the national leadership of the APC to, as a matter of urgency, rein in and caution Mr. Tony Okocha to stop being an agent of destabilization and a threat to democracy in Nigeria. Our party demands that the Inspector General of Police immediately invite the Rivers State APC caretaker chairman and hold him personally liable for his utterances which constitute a clear and present danger to the sustenance of democracy in Nigeria and to peace and tranquility in Rivers State. On the other hand, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has reserved its judgment on the appeal lodged by Martin Amayule and 24 other members of the Rivers State House of Assembly against Speaker Victor Okun-Jumbo and 5 others, as reported by Channels TV. The case, which challenges a High Court ruling declaring their seats vacant, was adjourned following the adoption of briefs by all parties. During the virtual proceedings on Thursday, Amayule and his associates urged the court to stop the execution of the High Court's judgment and suspend further proceedings in the case. They also sought to nullify any decisions made by Jumbo while in office, arguing that the initial court order lacked jurisdiction. Amayule's legal team urged the court to dismiss the appeal on grounds of incompetent records of appeal transmitted. The 3-judge panel led by Justice Jimmy Olukayode Bada reserved judgment, promising to notify all concerned parties of the decision at a later date. The court had earlier issued an interim order on June 14th, instructing all parties to maintain the status quo and refrain from any confrontational actions until a final ruling is made. The legal dispute came from a Rivers State High Court decision on May 10, 2024, which prohibited Martin Amayule from identifying himself as Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The ruling also barred 24 other Assembly members from accessing legislative premises or engaging in official legislative duties. Amayule and his colleagues approached the Court of Appeal seeking to overturn the High Court's decision. They argued that the ruling was unjust and asked for a speedy resolution of the matter. The Court of Appeal further prohibited any other court, including the State High Court, from intervening in the matter pending its own decision.
OsazuwaAkonedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.